I baptized them in my office. It was office, but the Holy Spirit was moving there. They started seeing vision, they started prophesying. This was happening in the office.
How did God take you from that to the nations? Was there a defining moment from the business to the nations?
Definitely, yes. The things that I'm doing right now that you see in the public, actually, I think I was the one who had the most money, you know. Actually, I also saved that money to start some real estate business.
And then you were even baptizing them? Like, did you buy like some kind of a pool? I think I've heard a story that you bought a pool and in the office space, you just started to baptize them?
Yeah. Wow. So eventually, finally, everybody who was in my office got saved.
Come on.
Every employee got saved in my office. Everybody converted to Jesus Christ. And then one day, I announced to my workers, my employees, okay, so tomorrow is a special day. Prepare your heart. So I didn't announce anything, just that.
Are they going to get bonuses?
Maybe they're looking for earthly things.
Promotion.
Yeah. Maybe they were disappointed.
Yeah, but that's not what you had in mind.
Yeah, that was not in my mind, you know. So after I sent them back to the home in the evening, at night, I've been preparing all the night in my office things. So what I was doing was I went to purchase a very big pool. I think in people in the United States they use a lot of this in front of their house or yard.
Like a bloated?
Yeah, you blow with air, the pool for the kids.
Yes.
So I bought that. And then I was blowing that alone in the office at night, you know. I almost fainted, you know. The Lord, but
that was the surprise for the workers.
Yeah. So I was blowing that in my office, and I was looking for a way, how can I fill this pool with the water in the office? So I went to buy some pipes to transfer the water, and I was filling that pool with the water, preparing those things. And then surprisingly, next morning, the workers came to the office and they saw the pool. So there was no bonus or promotion, nothing that they were expecting. So yes, everybody who got saved, all the Christ-believing employees, I baptized them in my office. So when I baptized them in the office, the Holy Spirit was moving in that area. It was office, you know, it was not a church building.
And not even outside, it's in the office.
It was not a Jordan River or it wasn't a church building or worship center or nothing. It was an office with a lot of mess with products, sample products and computers and tables and documents. And they were being baptized there, but the Holy Spirit was moving there.
They also got baptized in the Holy Spirit,
yes.
right?
And then they started speaking in tongue after the baptism. I put them into the water, raised them up, and the Holy Spirit was moving, touching them. They were being baptized with the Holy. They started speaking in tongue, and they started seeing vision. They started prophesying. So this was happening in the office.
So before, you know, people see you today, and you're going to crusades.
Yeah.
You know, you fill massive stadiums, and the Lord is using you.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that you're sharing this. It started with you meeting Jesus. Jesus was so real and so precious that everywhere you talked about Him, you cared about that one soul when you were a soldier, when you were a businessman. How did God take you from that to the nations?
Okay. And I travel like every continent.
Yeah,
so
but
Asia,
that's true.
everywhere. Southeast Asia, Thailand, India, Indonesia, Japan. Also, I'm here right now, United States.
United States, that's right, yeah.
So I travel all the nations.
Was there a defining moment from the business to the nations?
Definitely, yes. But definitely yes, at the same time, definitely no. Because the things that I'm doing right now that you see in the public actually are the things that I was already doing since before.
In private.
So it was my life.
Okay.
It was my life in private. For all my life, like since I got saved when I was like 5 years old, since that moment until now, I've just doing the same thing. So the things that I'm doing right now is something very natural for me. So I'm just born to do this. The Lord has predestined me and called me to be His servant in this kind of way, you know. Everybody serves in a different way, but the Lord has called me for this kind of way. But I've been doing this all my life in the private areas, private time, whether as we were sharing together about my time in business and military and everything. But there was also, so actually, to your question, is definitely no, because it's something that I've been doing.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's definitely yes, because there was some kind of moment that the Lord spoke to me. The Lord said, now go to the nations.
Okay.
At the moment, I was doing a business. Not bad. I was not doing bad. I was young. I had my own car. I was not doing bad, you know.
Meaning your business wasn't doing bad. Your business was
Yeah,
doing good.
when I met with my friends, I think I was the one who had the most money, you know. I was not doing bad. Still, my friends who are in the same age were struggling with their life. I could eat anything I could want. Like I was not doing bad. And at that moment, the Lord spoke to me, abandon everything, go to the nations. That moment, I was living in a small room, and every day I was praying like 6 to 7 hours in a room. And then one day I was on the floor with my bare feet, with my head on the floor. Literally, my head was always touching on the floor, praying and crying to the Lord. And the Lord spoke to me. In that moment, I was praying on the floor, abandon everything, go to the nations. And then I responded to his instruction. Yes, Lord, my life is yours. Nothing else. I don't belong to this earth. I belong to you. And I abandoned everything.
You just went to random. Did God tell you which nation to go?
Yeah.
Did you wait for an invitation, or how was that? How
No,
did that
I just
happen?
went. I just
You just
went.
went.
All the money that I have earned in my business life, I went spending all my money. Actually, I also saved that money to try to, start some real estate business or try to find my permanent house or something like that. So I've been traveling all around the world, using all that money. So to your question, it was something that I was always been doing, but there was a significant moment the Lord spoke to me. But if the Lord did not speak to me, I would have not moved because
Yes.
I'm this kind of a person who does not do things or who does not move if the Lord does not speak to me like seriously, because I always struggle for myself to not do the things by my will or according
own
to my
strength.
plan, because nowadays I see many Christians, they make mistakes. They think that it's the Lord causing them to do it, but actually it's their personal ambitions
Yes.
inside their heart and their
Yes.
desires, and
Yes.
they use the name of the Lord. I've been seeing terrible things, many things, and they don't even know how to discern that this is really from your heart or this is really from the voice of the Lord. So I always keep myself from not moving, but there was a significant moment that Lord spoke to me literally audibly